This is the one I wanted. Well, that's us, but I don't want us to be on screen, so we're going to go away. Goodbye. Bye. So Maeve and I were just talking off air, and I am drinking from my EO David mug.
Yes.
And let's see, in the chat, if you know what this is from, just throw it in there right now.
I'll throw my mug too.
Yeah, there it is. Trying very hard not to connect with people right now.
Yeah.
And it's the iconic sweater from, of course, your favorite and mine, Schitt's Creek. And I didn't realize that Maeve was a fan of Schitt's Creek until I put my mug up to take a drink of my tea, and she went, "Oh my gosh, your mug." So, Maeve, I ask you, why are you a fan of Schitt's Creek?
That's such a loaded question.
I know, that's the point though.
I think every character, like in the Rose family, every character is just hilarious. Like I can't even, like I know like Johnny the dad is like the straight man, but even he's hilarious because he's just, like trying to figure out everything. And like the fact that it's Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy, and then Eugene Levy and his son Daniel Levy, like writing a show together, like I love that aspect. I love Alexis. I think Alexis is like probably one of my favorite TV characters of all time.
She's solidly underrated as an actress too, because I watched her in there's another show, it's kind of not the best show ever. It's called Kevin Can Go F Himself, which...
Yes, I saw the pilot of that, and I was like, I need to figure out how I can watch more of this.
She's really, really good. All right, we're going to go live here in 3, 2, 1... Welcome to the Alter Live Show, already in progress, as you could tell. That's our little behind-the-scenes chat there. Yeah, Kevin Can Go F Himself. My wife and I started watching it, and we got about 3-4 episodes into it, and we fell off. But like, she's an incredible actress. She plays a ditzy.
She's really good.
Oh my gosh! Like in Schitt's Creek, she plays a ditzy blonde so well. Mm-hmm. The rich, spoiled heiress so well. But then she gets into this sort of gritty, and the premise behind the show is that she's living in a real life sitcom, and I don't know, she goes from the sitcom wife to this very gritty character very quickly, and it's really, really cool. So
it was so like, because I saw the pilot and I was watching it with like a bunch of people, and they were like, "This is sad. I don't want to watch this." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." But this is really interesting because it is playing with that trope of like the sitcom wife and the sitcom husband of the wife being like, "Honey," in like her laundry basket and like wagging her finger. But then you show like the realities maybe of that because it also switches filters and like and the format and when it's in the sitcom you hear a laugh track, but then when she like goes into the kitchen it's like
dark.
It's like dark, gritty, like single cam, and then the other one's like multicam. It was really crazy. I really want to watch it again because I don't think it got enough credit. So I don't think on anymore, which is sad.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know. We watched, like I said, we watched 3 or 4 episodes, and then we started watching reruns of Friday Night Lights again because
You
that
need to
show.
feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just we needed something to like get us through the holidays. But hey, welcome to the Ultra Live Show. We're not here to talk about TV again. Maeve and I are going to start a TV or a movie podcast at some point.
Yeah, one day.
That's our dream. But on the Ultra Life Show, we love to answer your questions. And I just hit my microphone. Your questions, your comments, your concerns about Ultra Live, but really about everything in the known universe. We have all the answers to every one of your questions. So feel free to jump into the chat and let us know. Maeve, you're going to have to answer this question for me right now.
Okay.
In the eternal struggle between cats and dogs, who do you go for? What side do you choose?
I mean, dogs all the way. Like, not even a question. I don't even think like I could even think about, picking a cat. I'm
Hmm.
sorry to all the cat lovers out there. You know what? I will pet your cat. I will um sit next to it. I will watch it if you need me to, but it is not my first choice.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, I
I'm
can't.
I'm on the same page as you. Dogs first. However, cats do have their place. I think we've talked about this before. My very first pet was a cat, and I
Okay.
loved him. I had him when he was 6 weeks old. He was my little dude. His name was James,
Oh,
and then he got cancer when he was about 8 or 9, and he passed
oh,
away. But we've got 2 dogs sitting just outside of this studio right now that are probably wrestling or licking each other. I don't know what they're doing. But there's that. But the reason I ask is because, and jump into the
mhm.
chat and let us know if you're a cat or a dog person. There's no judgment either way. Uh, we know what side is right in this, but there's no judgment. Whatever, if
No.
you are one of those cat people.
Yes. We love
CR jumping in again with binge watch The Chosen. Done it. Loved it. It was
love it.
really good. Can't wait to see
We
season
could
three and
have a
four. And
yeah, we could have a chosen podcast
yep.
also.
Oh gosh, yes, and cinematography and all that. CR
Oh my
also
god.
says +1 dogs.
Okay, thank you.
CR is you're in our good graces right now. So bless you, my child. Um, my son, my youngest, he's 12, and so we have 3 kids. He he likes to march to the beat of his own drum. He's
Okay.
always been the kid that is just like the example we have for him is like when his brother is 17 now and his sister is 15 now and he's 12, so there's a definite age gap.
Yeah.
But when he was about 3, he was putting a plastic trash can on his head and just running into the wall or running into the cabinet and laughing, and then he'd fall and you'd hear from inside of the thing, "I'm okay." And then I'm okay. It would just
I
be him
love
yelling,
that.
"I'm okay," and then he'd get up and do it again. So he marches to the beat of his own drum. Anyway, out of the blue, a couple of
Mhm.
weeks ago, he came up and said, "Hey, I got some money for Christmas, and I know what I want to do with it." I said, "All right, bud. What do you want to do?" "Well, I want to get an aquarium." "Oh,
Oh,
oh, okay.
okay.
Well, what do you mean?" And he wanted to get a 20-gallon tank with a starter kit, and he had already pulled out his iPad to like look at the specs and look at he had a list of all the fish he wanted. He had no clue how to take care of it, but he had a
Yeah.
list of all the fish he wanted and the gravel and this, that, and the other. And so he spent his Christmas money on a fish tank, which currently it's a 20-gallon tank, which is fairly large. And it's only got 3 fish in it right now because that's all they could find. So we're gonna go and I guess fill it up with some more tomorrow. Going to go to
Oh,
the
that's
the pet
fun
store.
though.
It is, but the setup process, Maeve, last Saturday, took me, and I say me, he was
Oh, I
helping,
bet.
but Dad of the Year,
Yeah, totally.
it took a good hour and a half just to set the thing
Yeah.
up. So,
Wow.
yeah,
I yeah, I remember, like, I went to, like, some school fair when I was little, and if you got, like, through something and something and you got it in, you could get, like, a free pass to get a goldfish,
yeah.
and so I won, and I was really excited to get the goldfish, and so when we went to the pet store, it was, like, there was so much, like, things you needed to get to house a goldfish.
Oh, dude.
And so my dad was actually really smart and he was like, "You know what? We're going to get a betta fish because they're like one much prettier than goldfish
Yes.
and two you can just put it in like a flower vase And that's what we did. And so, but the problem is you can only get like one
Yep.
because they will like kill each other.
Yeah.
It was always fun to put up like a mirror up to
Oh,
your
and let
beta
it just
fish,
like stare at
yeah,
the
like
mirror.
freak out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
but yeah, I aquariums are beautiful, but that does seem like a lot of
well,
work.
so here's where I was going with the story. So that was a lot. But right behind me, I've got this like I used to have a computer monitor back there that I would do like landscapes and stuff for when I was live streaming. And
Mhm.
now the CR echoing my thoughts. The tank clean out is brutal. You are not wrong
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I yes, but I think I'm gonna get a 10 gallon tank and put it back there with some LED lights behind it and put 4 or 5
Ooh.
fish in there because I forgot, and maybe this is where he gets it from, but I forgot how cool it is just to sit there and watch these dumb things just swim around and not have a care in the world. And I, I don't know, like I was I find myself every night before bed just sitting for like 15 minutes and just watching these dumb things swim around.
No, I love it. There's
Yeah.
something so mesmerizing. I haven't seen a good fish tank in a while
Yep.
because you'd always see them in like the waiting room at like
Oh yeah. A
at like
dentist.
yeah, the dentist or the eye doctor, or even at like I remember there'd be some at like a Chinese restaurant. I
Yep.
haven't been to a
Oh
Chinese
yeah.
restaurant in a while, but I just remember being so mesmerized when I was younger. So
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Here, you and me right
um,
now. All right. Well, let's talk about what we're talking about today, Maeve. And we
yes,
last week, or 2 weeks ago, last week you were out sick. Thankfully, you're feeling
hmm
better.
I am
Um,
better.
that was an interesting show without you. So please don't leave me ever again. Um,
I will
uh,
try not
it's
to.
fine. We got through it. We did the thing. It was great.
You
Um,
were good. I watched some of it. It was good.
It happened. But we're going to be breaking down our mobile app. And so what did we get through the first time, Maeve?
Right. So we talked about kind of just how everything looks and how everything functions on the mobile app. Everything functions pretty much exactly the same if you're on your computer. It's just more about location
Mm,
and where you can find everything and how everything fits into the app, because obviously the your phone or iPad or whatever is smaller than your computer most of the time.
most of
So
the time.
yeah, most of the time with all these crazy new
The
new
I Yeah, the
technologies.
iPad 12-inch is bigger than some people's iPad Airs from
I
a long
know,
time
it's
ago.
crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, anywho, so we just kind of talked about how everything fit and where everything was located. So we talked about, if you go into an event on your mobile device, what this is going to look like and how everything is going to work. We talked about the left side and right side of the screen, of how we kind of split it up so it can just kind of optimize the space on the app. And we talked about where you can find the chat and the polls and the announcements, but we didn't tell you how those things will look when those are being sent out. So
Right.
that's what we're going to go over today.
Right. So let me log into my little app here. I think I
Mhm.
remember my password. Let's see. Is
Always a
that it?
gamble. Oh,
Yeah, this is a dangerous game. Nope, that was not it.
uh
Let's see
oh.
if this is it. If not, I can do a magic link.
Good old those
Yeah,
magic links. Oh, nice.
I
Okay,
did it.
cool.
All right, cool. So we're going
All right, cool.
to. That's not what I wanted.
Yes.
Faith communities. Exit out. So we're going to the Altar Live show, correct?
Yes.
Let me click in there.
There we go. Okay. And so I'm here too. So I
So
can
you, Maeve, this is our event, and so if we wanted to, again,
Mhm.
just a real quick recap, I could just tap on this, jump into a row, and we'd be here. Are you the host of this right now?
Oh, there I am. Cool.
Cool. Cool. All right, let's exit out of this. 'Cause I think your microphone.
So,
I think your microphone.
oh,
There it is. Now you're
can
back.
you hear me?
Yep. Now you're back.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. So you're the host. Can you move us into the lobby?
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
Da, da, da.
Oh no, we
So
want to
then we
start.
have that nice little, countdown that'll take us into the lobby.
Mhm. All right, we're in the lobby.
Cool. And so what's everything is pretty much the same in on the mobile app, but the one thing, if you want to join a table, on the website, you can usually click whichever seat you want to do at a table, but on the app, that does not work. You want to click join in the center. Andy's showing us nicely. Great. And then you can join a table. You can also name the different tables, which is. Oh,
I can't. I'm only a group.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I can do that. So I'm going to name it the fun table.
I want to sit at the fun table.
Woohoo! Fun table. See, I just named it on the app. Sorry, you can't see it, but you get the you get the idea.
Fun table. I just joined the fun table.
Woohoo! Awesome. And I joined too. Okay. Talking about so that's just how the tables go in the lobby. And if you need to leave a table, you just click leave room, and everything is pretty straightforward, and you can scroll and pick whichever table you want. Just to keep in mind is that if you're a creator of the event, host, facilitating it, you have to create the event, go through the event creation process on the website. You can't create events or create polls or announcements on the app. The app is more for joining events, or if you are facilitating and monitoring a chat and you're kind of on the go, that's what kind of the app is for. You don't really want to be facilitating a whole event on your phone, just because it's not the best space. We want you to make the most of your experience. And if you're really in charge of running an event, it is easier and more efficient if you're doing it on your computer or on the website, however you can get to that. Okay, so let's talk about announcements. So I've made a bunch, so I can send. So, as you guys know, there are 3 different types of announcements on Alter Live. You can have the panel, the modal, and the notification. And so the way that the way that you can tell the difference between these is how they appear on the screen. And so in the app, so I'm gonna publish the panel announcement, and you'll be able to see how that looks. Perfect. And so it's super nice on the app. As soon as you publish a panel announcement, it'll automatically take you to the panel, so you don't have to find it yourself. But if you happen to miss an announcement, you can always go to the bottom panel at the bottom of the screen, and that little icon right there. That's where you can access all the announcements and the polls, leave event. If you don't want to leave event, just be careful with that. You can always join if you accidentally leave, because one thing that I've noticed is that if you do like that back swipe on the app, it'll give you the option to leave the event. You can't really see it on the screen right now, but you know how you do that on your phone. If you swipe to go back, if you do that, that will give you like a pop-up menu. Do you want to leave this event? And if you do, great. If you don't, just press no. But I've almost accidentally left events many times by doing that. And also, just to keep in mind, at the kind of towards the bottom of the screen where you see Andy's name is that like little icon. Yep, that one. That is to actually log out of your account. That isn't leaving the event. That's logging out of your account, which means you can still, if you log out, you can easily log back in. It won't kick you out of the event. It'll just make you an anonymous user, so you can't do any direct messages. Okay, back to, oh my gosh, I almost just left the event on my phone because I won't. Cancel. So let's go back to the other announcements. Okay, I'm gonna publish a modal. So ready, guys? Go publish. Great. Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. So that modal one is nice. It'll just pop up. Oh, no audio from you, Andy?
I'm back. I'm here.
I'm
very low.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. And then, so that one has a nice pop-up menu that'll just kind of pop up in the screen. And so easy to access, easy to see, make sure you don't miss it. So that'll be good if you had like an urgent message or something you needed to hear, you needed your audience to hear it fast, you can just easily just get it in the middle of the screen. All right, and the last one is notification. So publish. Oh, and you heard that.
There we are.
You definitely heard that sound. And so that one will pop up at the top of the screen like a text or, a notification that you're used to on your phone.
Right.
All right. So it's pretty straightforward of the way announcements are. Anything you wanted to add before we move on to polls?
Looks good so far. I mean, the buttons is the only thing that you really need to worry about. And just to make sure that you're not clicking out like Maeve almost did, leaving the event. That's a little bit of a thing. And I almost wonder if there's not something we can do in development, and we'll talk about that later. But the biggest thing is there is always a place. We had somebody join us in our event.
Oh.
This is so good. Oh, that's hysterical. Anyway, in the announcements, your announcements are always right here in this last panel. That's hysterical. So, yes, moving right along.
Right. So polls. Like we said before, you can't create a poll on the app, but you can vote on them and do all that fun stuff. So I'm going to publish this poll. I have to say, I did not come up with this myself. If for all you who know me, I'm not a sports person. Yay, sports.
Yay, sports. This is me. Obviously, the GOAT is Thomas J. Brady III Jr.
Is that his name?
It's Thomas something Brady. I think it's J. Thomas James. And he's a junior. Thomas J. Brady Jr. I just call him the third.
Oh, okay. Anyway, well, that's fun.
He's the GOAT. Thanks for voting for him.
Yes. You know, I couldn't. I just had to do the safe choice.
I know. It was safe. Come on. He's proven himself decade over decade. Literally decade over decade.
Yeah, okay. True.
So polls, unfortunately, they don't pop up in like any notifications or your chat. You'll get that little red dot there that says that you have a poll. And that's simply just your notification there.
Right. So what else? I think we can move on to meetings.
Yep, absolutely. One quick thing before we leave this area, as a host or as a greeter, remember anytime you're trying to guide your community or guide your tables or guide your lobbies, remember to throw stuff in the chat. Because as you can see in the mobile, you don't have two separate panes worth of stuff. You've only got one window. And so if it appears in the chat, people will get the notification sound, and then they'll be able to go to the chat and read what's going on. Otherwise, if you're not using a modal or a panel announcement, or if you are using a panel or a notification announcement, it might get lost in the shuffle and people might have a little bit of whiplash. So just make sure that you're always putting things in the chat as well. It might seem like double and triple work, but trust me, it's going to help with the ease of your transitions.
Exactly. And you know what's super fun is that I forgot to make a meeting, so I'm doing that right now.
You know what? That's fine. I'll stall for time while you're doing it. In here, I say stall. It's called filling in the business.
It's called fun.
I know. And I'm being severely overdriven. My audio is just trash right now. So give me one quick second. How about now?
I mean, I can hear you great.
Can you hear me now? How about
now?
I can hear you. It still sounds a little bad, so
a little crunchy.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do most of the talking while I work on this.
All right. Thank you guys for bearing with me as I have forgotten to create a meeting. But you know what? It's all about making do. It's all about fun times, and done, published. Great. Look at that.
Cool. My audio. I just switched to an external microphone. So now you'll be able to hear everything that's going on. Cool.
Great. Okay. So okay, so I'm gonna join. Okay, so I created a meeting called Ultra Live Show.
Okay.
So you should be able to find that. Yep. Ultra Live.
And I'll need you to just share that. Actually, I should be able to just leave this event. Boom.
You know what? I might just share that with you.
Well, I won't be able to get it in here, unfortunately.
Ultra Live Show meeting. Interesting how it's.
There it is.
All right,
I'm
perfect.
in. Whoa, gosh, look at that camera. Oh, it's that camera there. Oh, I'm going to turn that one off. And we're in.
Perfect. See? Look at that.
We did
okay.
it.
We did it. Oh, okay. So meetings look very similar to on your computer. But the one thing is that we've noticed is that it does not have the grid view of like when you join like a meeting on your device. Instead, the person who's talking will be kind of the biggest screen. That's just to optimize space because your mobile device is only so big. What's great about the meetings is that all of the features work the same. You have those emoji reactions, which are super fun, that you can find. Yep, on those 3 dots. Those are super fun because they float over your face if you've tried them, and they also make a sound.
I don't know if you guys could.
I don't know if you can hear the sound, but they make really fun sounds. Like that one makes a boo sound.
It does.
Which I hope no one uses that on me ever. That one I think is a surprise.
That one's crickets, yeah.
Oh, crickets. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. This is like a
use that.
Ooh.
But yeah, you should just narrate all of the sounds.
Yeah, I'll do. And this is we did that one.
Awesome.
This is like that. It's pretty cool.
It's a great tool. It's super fun. You can also raise your hand if you have a question. So your host will be able to see you. The announcements. Oh, so you can also. What's great about meetings on Ultra Live, you can also make rooms and breakout rooms and even a lobby. And all of the features work the same for that. So you can send polls, you can make announcements if you're in your breakout rooms, all sorts of great stuff like that. But just remember, you can't create these events and you can't create the lobby on the app. You have to create it in your Ultra Live account on the website. Anything else to add, Andy?
Nope, looking good so far.
Yeah, so everything you can find at that panel at the bottom. And yeah.
Cool. We did get a good question from CR. I'm gonna leave this just because it's screwing with my audio. So note to everybody watching right now, you can't try to run 3 different audio devices through an app on your computer. It doesn't work very well. So that's where the source of my bad audio came from. So I apologize to everybody watching. CR had a great question, and let's see if we can throw it up there. Not familiar with the app. Do you need to download it? Ultra Live seems to work fine on my iPad with a browser. So a number of things can happen. It is an app. It's an app on the iOS store and the Google Play Store. Depending on what you are using and how you're using it, we oftentimes recommend you download the app just because sometimes Safari doesn't play too well. So if you're on an iPad, the default browser is Safari. And even if you use Chrome, the mobile browser market is very limited on Apple devices because Apple forces all mobile browsers to use its WebKit. So essentially you're just using, if you use Chrome or if you use Firefox on your mobile browser, you're just essentially using the same Safari browser just with a different skin on it. So if it works, that's fine. Every once in a while, as we're iterating and as we're updating and as we're creating new releases, every once in a while something doesn't work with Safari. until we patch it later. So that's why I say sometimes it's easier just to use the app, because the app is always the most current, updated version of Alter Live.
Totally.
Let me get out of there. Cool. What else? What else are we forgetting here, Maeve?
I think we've covered everything. You just have to remember that everything works the same on the app. It's just all about location. So if you go into an event or a meeting, you'll always have that panel at the bottom or the panel at the top where you can access all of the different features and all of the different spaces you can go into the app in your Ultra Live event.
Yep. CR, yeah, give it a try. Let us know if you've got any issues. And everybody else out there watching, we get a lot of watchers that are not live with us, that are on demand. So if you ever have any questions or anything that we can help with, as always, feel free to throw it into the chat. I'm always monitoring the chat or comments. Just doesn't matter when we get it. I'll get a little notification ding on my phone and I can go and respond. Feel free to throw any questions you have, any comments, any concerns. And one of us will kind of take care of it, because that's what we do around here. We try to take care of things. Maeve, anything else I can add to this broadcast?
No, I think we're good. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat or reach out to us. Look in the support center on Alter Live. We're always on, and we're always on to help.
Always. We're always watching. Always watching.
Not in a creepy way.
Cool. Maeve, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys later. Love you. Thanks for joining in.